Hello, everyone. I wanted to welcome everyone to the Building Hope Luncheon for Habitat for Humanity. My name is Mike Sherman. I'm the board president of Habitat for Humanity of Burlington and Mercer counties, and I'll be your MC for the Building Hope Luncheon. First, I'd like to thank our sponsors who've made this event possible and who keep us building through these continuously challenging times. New Jersey Clean Energy, PCS, Vanguard Building Solutions, Phoenix Modular, Borger Matez, Barrett's and Associates, NJM, and OSK Design Partners. If you're familiar with Habitat, then you know that shifting to virtual events has been difficult because we feel that the impact of the work we do is best demonstrated in person by meeting with our families, working on our construction sites, as many of you probably have, and engaging with the community. Although we haven't been able to connect over the last year like we have in the past, that doesn't mean we have been dormant either. And we're thankful to have all of you here today to celebrate the hard work and success of our partner families, homeowners, volunteers, staff, and supporters. Here's what we have in store for you today. Our CEO, Lori Leonard, will guide us through an overview of Habitat's work over the last year. We have a video of some of our homeowners, a special presentation on the history of affordable housing in New Jersey, and some awards to deliver to our amazing partners. Should you be moved today by the stories of our families, inspired by our work to build a community where everyone has a safe and affordable place to call home, I urge you to make a donation by using the link in the chat below. Every little bit that you can donate adds up. Consider a donation of $100 and you can help us paint a bedroom a child's favorite color. Give $500 to install front and back doors of a new home, or $1,000 to make a large impact with energy saving appliances for much needed in these homes. Just imagine what we could build if we gave a piece of a home today. As you'll hear in our presentation, Habitat has big plans moving forward, and with your gift now, we will build a brighter future for families in need. So now I hand it over to Miss Lori Leonard. Lori, if you can hear me, you're muted.
Oh, wow. I'm glad you said that, Mike. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the hard work and success of Habitat's partner families, homeowners, volunteers, staff, and supporters. The challenges we have faced over the last year have been tough, but I am proud to say that no matter the circumstances, Habitat has stayed open and we've continued to build and repair homes and serve families. Now I'd like to share some highlights of what we've been up to over the last year with all of you. Last fall, we successfully merged with the Atlantic County Habitat, expanding our service area from the Delaware River to the Jersey Shore. Our affordable housing initiatives and 3 restores now reach over 1.1 million residents in 77 municipalities across Burlington, Mercer, Atlantic, and parts of Middlesex counties. Through this merger, we gained amazing staff, board members, and a dedicated volunteer base. Our affiliate now has the capabilities to take on larger projects and create more opportunities for hardworking families in need of housing solutions. Habitat aims to provide everyone with a decent place to live, and over the years, our strategy to achieve this vision has evolved from building new houses to repairing existing homes. Through neighborhood revitalization, we partner with local residents and organizations to best address real concerns and improve the lives of the people who live right here in our communities. Our efforts come to full force this year thanks to the formation of incredible partnerships and our staff's perseverance, which in turn has brought 30 home repairs to the Burlington and Mercer area since last July. Our Preserve Palmyra event brought 15 exterior repairs to homeowners over the course of a month last fall. And all year long, we've provided minor exterior as well as critical home repairs to residents in Burlington City and Mount Holly through the Neighborhood Preservation Program. We've helped update and modernize homes with paint, landscaping, and carpentry work, and we've made improvements to the safety and security of homes by replacing major systems like HVAC and roofing. We're also excited to be in projects focused in Hamilton through the Community Development Block Grant, as well as serving disabled veterans all over our service area through the Veteran Housing Repair and Modification Program. It feels like all of our homeowners we meet have a special story, but I'd like to tell you about one in particular. Mr. Mcdonald Martin, an Air Force veteran and longtime resident of Palmyra, was greatly in need of a new roof, heater, and garage doors before the winter months took hold. This man is so humble and kind-hearted, having lived such an interesting life of service, both in and out of the military. And amazingly enough, Mcdonald has double the Habitat connection. He came in contact with us when he saw the new homes we were building in Palmyra and found out about our repair services. But before that, when he worked at a local radio station, Mcdonald actually interviewed Habitat founder Millard Fuller. Thanks to our partners at Premier Roofing and our dedicated volunteers, the work on his home turned out great, and Mcdonald was able to enjoy the winter season in a warm and updated home. We even brought him holiday cookies and decorated his house because we got such joy from serving a man who so selflessly lives his life serving others. If you know Habitat, then you know that we build our homes with the hearts, hands, and hammers of volunteers. But with health and safety regulations over the last year, greatly limited our ability to host groups and individuals on the work site. Regardless, by shifting to trusted contractors and relying on our staff and small but loyal group of volunteers called regulars, we've built and sold 3 homes to income qualified families as of this spring. I want to give a warm welcome home to our new homeowners, the Belufsky family and the House family, neighbors in Palmyra, as well as the Tarver family who recently bought their home in Hamilton. After lots of slow progress, we're now picking up momentum and on track to complete 6 more homes in the coming months. We've got a beautiful duplex in Hightstown, 3 more homes at Donkey Point in rural Springfield, a Bloomberg sponsored and built home in Hamilton, a duplex in the historic Witherspoon-Jackson neighborhood of Princeton, and a handicap accessible home in Mays Landing. And as if building 9 homes during a pandemic wasn't enough of a challenge to take on, we've also put a lot of work behind the scenes in order to pave the way for future affordable housing projects. Keep a lookout for new Habitat homes starting this year, like our 10-home project in Bordentown, funded by the New Jersey Affordable Housing Trust Fund, a single-family home in Hainesport supported by Burlington County Home Funds, and a beautiful home in Ewing that will be built in partnership with Benebone. One silver lining to come out of all the changes we had to make in order to operate safely during COVID was seeing our program flourish when the Family Services Department adapted to supporting our homeowners and partner families virtually. Since last spring, we've hosted weekly sweat equity sessions that touch on topics like how to fix a toilet, meal planning, and budgeting. The turnout and engagement by our families has been absolutely astounding, and I find their dedication to this program through the toughest of circumstances to be so inspiring. Knowing we've got these hardworking and dedicated families relying on us truly motivates our team to work more, do more, and build more, to make their dreams of homeownership a reality. The successful shift in our program also pushed us to develop and implement the Almost Home program, which assists families at various stages of their homeownership journey to establish and strengthen their financial stability. The program provides families and individuals with financial education, homeowner preparation, and community connections to build their application for the Affordable Homeownership Program. After 12 weeks, families are primed and ready to take the next step. From our first group of classes, families' credit scores increased by 100 points on average, and they collectively saved over $23,000 and reduced their debt by more than $10,000. The next round of Almost Home just started a few weeks back, and I can't wait to see what this new group makes of it. Have you been to the Restore lately? It's a home improvement store and donation center where Habitat sells new and gently used furniture, appliances, and building materials at a fraction of retail prices. We as an affiliate run a total of 3 locations, 1 in each of the regions we serve through our housing programs. Every purchase, every donation, and every hour volunteered at our Restore supports the creation, promotion, and preservation of affordable housing in our community, all while helping the environment by keeping perfectly good items from ending up in landfills and instead find new life in area homes. Last year alone, we diverted 4 tons of product from landfills and overall helped divert over 20 million pounds since opening our first Restore in 2006. And through the ups and downs of the pandemic, our Restores have persisted. I am endlessly thankful for our corporate partners who have supplied us with over 1,400 donations since March of 2020 and 64,000 patrons whose purchases have kept us building through all the challenges we face. And something that you may not know about the Restore is that we often get atypical donations, things like cleaning supplies, hygiene products, baby formula, and PPE. Instead of selling these items, we have built relationships with community partners like Catholic Charities, Oaks Integrated, and Virtua to get the items to the most vulnerable people in our communities. This unique arm of the Restore has come to be such a blessing this year, as we've been able to serve the community beyond our programs and directly support hospitals, food banks, homeless shelters, foster care programs, essential workers, victims of domestic violence, and those facing challenges throughout the pandemic. We are so thankful to have the partnerships we have with other service providers so that we may share in our abundance. Now I'd like to hand it over to our Chief Development Officer, Annie Fox, for our interactive activity.
When you registered for the Building Hope Luncheon, we invited you to participate in a reflective activity as part of our Home is the Key, which is our annual awareness campaign that aims to increase the understanding our community has about the critical role we play in helping families gain strength, stability, and self-reliance through shelter. The activity was a daily calendar that we asked you to spend some time each day considering items that may be in your home and adding up the assigned values. It included ways to involve your whole family as well as a house bank where you could place a daily amount. For me, my favorite day was counting how many outlets I had in the house, something I use so often, but I hadn't given much thought how important it was to use them. It's where I set up my office equipment to safely work from home during the pandemic. For the record, it's 30 outlets, and my total donation through Home is the Key calendar added up to only $27.20. I hope that through this activity, you were reminded of the things in your home that make you feel safe and comforting. Things that you may take for granted or seem really simple, but that deserve to be enjoyed by everyone in their home, no matter where they live or how much money they make. Now, I want you to think about those things once more as you join me in sharing with all of those who are in attendance today what you've appreciated about your home during the challenging times. Simply click the link in the chat, and together we're going to make a word cloud all about what makes a house a home. Please take a second to do this as I continue to talk. I love this because it shows Habitat's work is more than just wood and nails. I have seen firsthand how safe, decent, affordable homes create better opportunities for families. They have better health, more financial freedom, and the stability and security that far too many cannot achieve without a strong roof over their heads and a solid foundation under their feet. I'm going to wait just 1 minute to allow the words to pop up. And as you can see, we're seeing a lot of really interesting things come in. Some of my favorite ones are the animals and the dogs. So please take a moment to enter what your house has brought to you specifically during this pandemic. If you donate today, know that your kindness will not only provide pieces of an actual home for a family in need, but also the feeling of peace that a home provides, like the safety, the dinners with your family, and the home offices, and all of those other words that we see in the cloud.
I couldn't agree more, Annie. And by the way, there's a few things hopefully that each of you have learned as we've kind of gone through this, and just a few pieces of this is, one is how fortunate we all are, the calendar that we put so much time into, just to really start to think about what we have and what other people may not have. But also, more than just providing homes for people, we're providing a financial roadmap for them to be successful. And I think you saw that and heard that in some of what Lori mentioned earlier. So now back to Lori to share what home ownership means to our Habitat homeowners.
The muting thing gets me. Thanks, Mike. We recently met with some of our homeowners to check in and catch up. The things they had to share were so touching, and I'm thankful that they were willing to be filmed so that we could share it with you as well. Here's what our Habitat neighbors have to say about owning a home and how it has made an impact on their lives, especially in the face of a pandemic.
If you're ever close to homelessness, it's a very frightening experience. And that was one of the things that was always on my mind, like, what about my grandchildren? Where are they going to live? What's going to happen to them? But now that we're in this home, that's one worry that I don't have anymore. I know they'll always have a home. My name is Kathleen Griffin, and I am a Habitat for Humanity homeowner. I got my house September. As a matter of fact, it was on my birthday. I went to settlement September the 19th, and we've been in here for 2 years. I'm here with my 2 grandchildren, Dash and Danielle. I have custody of both of them due to the fact that their father passed away. He passed away April the 10th, 2 years ago, and their mother is not in the picture any longer. It's a blessing to be able to take care of them and to be able to provide them with a safe and comfortable home. One of the fantastic things about living here in our new home is the fact that both of my grandkids have their own space. They each have their own rooms, so by them being teenagers, that's important. They can go back and do their thing, whether it be on the computer or listening to music, whatever it happens to be. So that's a good thing. It gives them that little bit of privacy. Before I moved here, I lived in Mount Holly. I was in a rental home. It was very much in disrepair, the plumbing, the electricity, so everything about it was just going downhill. I'm not a person that can easily accept handouts because I've always been a worker and an achiever, and if something needs to be done, I'm going to get it done. So with Habitat, having to do certain things, it just makes you feel better about yourself, that you are not receiving a handout, but you're working for the end result, which is a home of your own. Having this home, I almost felt like the pandemic was outside of my house. I could manage things. It's a clean environment, it's a safe environment, it's a comfortable environment. So even though, yes, we certainly were affected by it, but we were affected a lot less than what it would have been had we still been in our home in Mount Holly. Everybody, to me, that is part of Habitat seems to have a special place in their heart for helping other people. And that was one of the things that really touched me about the program. One of the favorite things that I enjoy about my home is I make it my own because it belongs to me.
When we first moved in, first getting the keys, that initial grab of the keys, knowing that that's it, this is mine, it was a huge feeling of accomplishment. My name is Erica Carrion. I bought my home from Habitat for Humanity December 5th, 2019, and we're in Marlton area, Evesham Township. Previously, before here, lived in Cherry Hill in an apartment complex. It wasn't too bad, but we started having issues with the kids and neighbors and just my kids being picked on. So I remember my older daughter had volunteer work with Habitat for Humanity. So I looked into it and I put in an application and actually got a quick response. Being in one spot feels good, and knowing that I don't have to up and leave in a little while, knowing that the kids are stable here and it's a good community. It's a lot of peace of mind for me. The biggest joy of having the house is being able to have my family over and just having a little get-togethers every now and then, having enough space for everybody, knowing that my kids are safe. It's a good thing with the space because since I work in the hospital, I was exposing myself a lot. So them being able to have a little distance from me was a good thing. Them being able to concentrate a little bit more, being in their own rooms as far as them doing their schoolwork was a good thing. It's still hard for them doing the online versus actually being in school as far as picking up and learning. At the apartment, things I couldn't do was especially with the dog, let the dog run around outside. The kids can play around out in the back, especially our backyard. To our backyard is a big field, so it's nice the kids could go back there and play around a little bit. It's been good. So, they can still go out and have fun and not be too cooped up. I hope they see that, nothing can stop you, the age, nothing. As long as you try and your heart is in it and it's something you really want to do, then you can actually accomplish things. I accomplished something that a lot of people can't. It was actually something I wasn't sure if I would actually be able to do, but with Habitat, they actually made it happen, and it was an awesome feeling. They have a lot of different classes with the program, so it helped me be prepared for everything that was coming my way being a homeowner.
Well, I would say every time we get a chance to hear from homeowners and our partner families, it always gets to me as well. So it's the reason why we do what we do, both all of the work that the staff puts in, as well as the board and what we do. So it's just after seeing that, I hope that each of you go into the chat and take a look at the link and see ways in which you might be able to give and think what you have versus others. And we want to continue to keep providing for more people. So what you do today helps us quite a bit. So we appreciate anything you can do. And so now at this time, I'd like to announce awards to some of our outstanding partners who've made a positive impact in the community this year and beyond with their kindness and their generosity. First, we have Restore Director Tyrone Davis to deliver the In-Kind Partnership Award.
Thank you very much, Mike. It's great to be here. I'm honored to have this privilege to present our 2021 In-Kind Partnership Award. This award is for corporate partnership who embraces our mission, embodies our vision, and supports our values through the donation of goods. This year, we are happy to be honoring our major Restore donor, Lazy Boy. Lazy Boy has been a household name and synonymous with comfortability and quality furniture since 1927. The company has truly been a key Restore partner, with its local distribution center donating 5,200 units over the last 4 years. Even during the height of the pandemic, when closures and strict health and safety procedures limited both Lazy Boy and Habitat's functions, our relationship remains stable and strong and unveiling. Our teams have worked closely for such an extended length of time with trust and respect. And we couldn't think of a better company to honor with this award today. Here to accept the award is Greg Byros, General Manager, Regional Distribution, Lazy Boy. Welcome.
Thank you, Tyrone. As you guys can see, I'm not Greg Byros. Greg was supposed to join us, and Greg is the general manager for a regional distribution center. I think something came up last minute, so he's not able to accept on his behalf, but we will make sure to send this wonderful thanks from you, Tyrone, and the rest of us here at Habitat, along with the physical award to Greg. Thank you, guys.
So next, I'd like to do the Corporate Partnership Award to OSK Designs. And good to see everybody there and that team and all they've done for us. This award is for a corporate partner who goes above and beyond a standard relationship and works alongside us to make the dream of homeownership a reality for our partner families. This year, Habitat has selected OSK Design Partners as our corporate partner honoree. OSK Designs provides services like architectural design, land planning, construction administration, and feasibility consultation. The company is well known for providing high quality designs, attentive client service, and leading effective teams. Over the last decade, OSK has given $6,100 through donations and sponsorship, as well as over $133,000 in services and 1,500 hours that have greatly helped take Habitat's housing projects to the next level. You can see their work in nearly everything we do, like the duplex on Lytle Street that fits uniquely both in the slim lot and the look of the historic neighborhood. We are so grateful for their partnership and support in fulfilling our mission, one home at a time. Here to accept the award is Paul Kiss, founding principal.
Okay, did that work? Yes. Okay, well, lighting is terrible. So, yeah, I'm here with some of my team, gathered together, all doubly vaccinated, so don't worry about us not having masks. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Well, you know, it's an honor. It's not something I look for when, you know, when going into endeavors like this, but I'll give you a real quick, you know, Habitat's always been something I've really felt very strongly for, the whole mission and the philosophy. 15, 20 years ago. I don't want to say how long. My church, formed a group to go build alongside homeowners in Trenton. And they did that, and seeing the impact firsthand on families and on communities really strengthened that for me. It also made me realize even more so that I'm much better with a pencil than a hammer. So when I was asked to be on the board in Trenton, I gladly volunteered for that. When the merger came along, I was really happy to be able to be welcomed into the larger group. And the fact that we're blessed, I'm blessed as an architect, and we're blessed as a company to be successful enough that we can really give back as much as we can. Some of my team is here, some of them are on their home computers, and it takes all of us, and I thank all of them too. And thank you for the honor.
Well, thank you, Paul, and OSK Designs for your tremendous support. And Paul, from me to you, thank you for not only your support, but your dedication on the board. It's much appreciated and welcome. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Now to Annie Fox, who will deliver the Corporate Philanthropy Award.
I am very happy to announce that this year's Corporate Philanthropy Award goes to Benebone. Those of you who, like me, have dogs at home are most likely familiar with Benebone. But in case you don't know, it is a company that makes quality, durable pet products, and their dogma, if you will, is to bring good vibes to communities, families, and their furry loved ones. Our missions go together like belly rubs and tail wags, and together through a new partnership, Habitat and Benebone will build a new affordable home in Ewing this year. The neighborhood where this home is located is actually close to Benebone's founder's birthplace, as Peter Tulan and his siblings were born at St. Francis in Trenton. Their father, Jim, I've gotten to know as Papa Benebone, has been an avid volunteer for the Lehigh Valley's Habitat over in Pennsylvania. In the past, they've sponsored a home build for a family in Bethlehem. We're honoring Benebone with this award today because a whole house sponsorship like this is an amazing but rare opportunity. Building homes is a costly undertaking, and finding a partner willing to step up to such a tall order is worth celebrating. We're honored to have this relationship with the Benebone team, and together we can't wait to bring the true meaning to the saying, home is where your dog is. Here to accept the award is Peter Tulan, founder and CEO.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for that lovely introduction. This is my dog, Mochi, and we're thrilled to be involved with Habitat. As you mentioned, my family has been involved with Habitat for some time. We've got it pretty good. We make dog toys, right? So it's a pretty fun business. People aren't too serious. They like to have a lot of fun. We've grown like crazy as a company, and doing good is really part of our company culture. And this is a tremendous opportunity. We're thrilled to be a part of it. Frankly, after watching this, I feel like we should be giving you an award. It's just an amazing organization, and we're thrilled to do our small part. So thank you very much. And Mochi, thanks you too.
Oh, well, thank you both too. As most of you on the call may know, personally and professionally, this is the best combination of my life, dogs and Habitat. But now I would like Lori Leonard, and she will introduce the most exciting award, the David Mcalpin Humanitarian Award, and our keynote presentation.
The David Mcalpin Humanitarian Award recognizes the tireless and often thankless efforts made by those who advocate for change and break down barriers so that everyone has a decent place to live. Habitat has a vision of a world where we share one humanity, a world that we believe in and fight for every day. This year, the award comes with a bit of history. Ethel Lawrence, known as the Rosa Parks of affordable housing, began her work in Mount Laurel advocating for decent affordable housing for the low-income residents in the community. This fight went all the way to the New Jersey Supreme Court and resulted in the formation of the Mount Laurel Doctrine, which requires all municipalities in the state of New Jersey to provide for affordable housing. Subsequently, Fair Share Housing and the Council on Affordable Housing, COA, were created and led to the development of over 40,000 units of affordable housing across New Jersey neighborhoods that historically have been racially and economically segregated. Ethel Lawrence passed before she could see the fruits of her labor, but her legacy has continued with her daughter, Ethel. Marked by the same name and a striking resemblance, Ethel Lawrence Halley carries the torch lit by her mother with tenacity and passion, blazing her own trail with her life's work to ensure that low income and people of color in New Jersey can achieve homeownership. I had the wonderful opportunity to sit down and talk with Ethel, who had incredible insights to share. Please join me in watching her video.
People want to be able to raise their kids in a community where they have access to decent housing, where they have access to good schools, where they have access to be able to improve their lots in life. And it's hard when you're starting at the bottom in a chicken coop. My name is Ethel Lawrence Halley. I'm the daughter of Ethel Robinson Lawrence. My mother was most famously known for her participation in the Mount Laurel litigation that brought affordable housing to the state of New Jersey, Mount Laurel, and impacted the nation. So my mother was always very civically active in the community. You know, she has 7 generations worth of family living in Mount Laurel. Around 1968, at the time I was around 9 or 10, and they were planning a big planned unit development, which we all now know is Ramplewood. And she was concerned that there were so many families and friends that could not afford to live in these new developments, and yet the housing they were living in Mount Laurel was dilapidated, deteriorating, absentee landlords, a lot of issues that caused family members to have to leave. My oldest sister, who was also a plaintiff in the case, was living in a section of the town called Springville, and the apartment that she lived in was actually a converted chicken coop. She got together with some community leaders, and they started what they called the Springville Action Committee. And they started looking at the possibilities of developing just a few homes in the Springville area of Mount Laurel. And they were fairly successful. They even got grant money from the Department of Community Affairs to build these 32 odd units. But the zoning in the town said that they could not because of their density size restrictions. She always focused on the fact that it was an economic issue and an issue dear to her heart, that people should be able to live in decent, affordable housing where they want to live. And so many people in the community were being dispersed and left out that she couldn't turn her back on it. She met with these lawyers. They said, "We think you got a case." And she just became like the cheerleader. She was the band leader. She was coordinating with the Community Action Committee. She was coordinating with the attorneys. She was giving them a real feel and history of what was going on in Mount Laurel. There was much more pushback from the community than I would have ever expected. It's that build it someplace else, not in my backyard, put it someplace else. We don't want it here. You're going to bring crime. You're going to bring down my property values. These were the daily arguments. Years after my mother's passing, when I was doing it, I was receiving threatening calls. And from the perspective as a young child, now we're getting into the litigation and people are becoming aware. that this legal battle is going on with this little group, and it became a class action suit. My mother received threats. I can't tell you how many times we changed our phone number. You know, she feared for her family. She feared for her children. She feared for herself. But she always said, you know, right is right. And how can anyone stand aside and know that you have the ability to try to do something to help someone else? The battle went back and forth, and it went from the local Superior Court ultimately to the state Supreme Court. This litigation led to the Fair Housing Act in the state of New Jersey. New Jersey did not have a Fair Housing Act before this litigation. And from there, it created the Council on Affordable Housing, some people refer to as COA. COA is no longer in existence, but that was the start. And what COA did was to go to each and every municipality in the state and say, we're going to look at your housing plan, look at what your growth plan is, and we are going to designate a number. And we're going to give each and every municipality in the state a number of units that they must construct for low and affordable, moderate income individuals. So ultimately, after the dust had settled from the litigation, Fair Share Housing Development also had Fair Share Housing Center, which was their legal division of overseeing that municipalities were doing their part and following and adhering to the court's mandate. There were court masters assigned, and Fair Share Housing Development was able to purchase 62 acres of land here in Mount Laurel. When we were just at the end zone, we were in that red zone to get that funding, and representatives from NJHMFA, the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency, said we have to come and see the land, take a look, see if it looks like, you know, the area is going to be productive for what you're proposing. At the time, my mother was very ill. She was succumbing to cancer, and I was asked, do you think your mom might come to the site? Because if these people from the state come out here, we want to see them look her in the eye and say, we're not going to give you the money to build this. And we met with the state, and she said to them, she pleaded with them, please help us build this housing. She says, I'm not long for this world, but I want to see, I would love to see this built. I would love to put the first key in the first door. Unfortunately, that never came to fruition. There wasn't a dry eye standing out in that field. And the next day, I got a call from the executive director saying, we're going to approve that application. You know, by the time we were able to start the construction, my mother had passed. So, but it came to be, they're beautiful houses, beautiful families. And it's just truly an example of what affordable housing can be. These homes would not exist but for Ethel R. Lawrence. And because of that, we took every care in making sure that these would be built without distinction from the market rate housing. There's nothing like the feeling of knowing that you helped someone achieve a goal they thought was unachievable. I was so overwhelmed when we had the first resident move in, and I was able to hand her that key. And 4 years later, that same resident said, I was able to go back to school myself, I'm now a nurse. I can leave here and provide for my family. And the story just gets repeated over and over and over again. To be low income should never be something that's considered you're less than. But to see someone that you can just see the pride that they have in their homes. They take so much pride, they show them off, they're so pleased. It just made me want to remain in this industry. I don't care how much housing we build, there's always a need. And the fact that there is still a need, I gotta stay with it. And I just hope that I would maybe see the day where our country would come to the consensus, maybe this wasn't a bad idea. Maybe I don't have to be fearful that someone's gonna put an affordable housing complex in my backyard. Maybe those people are not those people. They're my neighbors, and they contribute to the community, not take away.
Thank you, Ethel. I have to compose myself from that. It's because of you and your mom that Habitat's able to do what we do with the relative ease that we do it in the municipalities across the state. And I stand with your mom and I stand with you to continue this, battle to advocate for affordable housing. So it is with great honor that Habitat for Humanity of Burlington and Mercer Counties awards Miss Ethel Lawrence Halley with the David Mcalpin Humanitarian Award.
Thank you so much, Laurie and Annie and all of you at Habitat. What you do every day inspires me, and I am so blessed and honored to be able to share my mother's story and my story with you, because the battle continues every day, and I'm just so thankful and appreciative to be able to continue to be a part of this industry that continues to help people promote, do away with homelessness and to promote decent, safe housing. It's an honor.
Well, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to record you and for telling your story. And just thank you for being here. We are so appreciative. We don't give out the David Mcalpin Humanitarian Award every year. It has to be a really special person that warrants getting this award in his name, because he is such an incredible person and trailblazer. So congratulations. Thank you so much for being here again. To close out the event for us, I hand it back to Mike Sherman.
Thank you, Lori. And I agree. I couldn't think of a better recipient than Ethel for that award. We all think very highly of David and all that he's done for this organization and Habitat, and the same with Ethel and her mother. So it's great to give her that award. We actually have one more award to share with all of you. It's the Tin Roof Service Award, which I am proud to present to Habitat for Humanity Chief Executive Officer, Lori Leonard. Traditionally, a 10-year anniversary is marked by the gift of tin, which is a metal known for its strength and durability, making it the symbol of a union that can stand the test of time. Tin is used to coat other metals to fortify them, keep them from wearing down and give them shine. These qualities make for a great long-lasting roof, and it should go without saying that they are also qualities of Lori, who for the last decade has given this affiliate cover and support through every storm. Thanks to her passion, dedication, we have grown into the habitat we are today, and together we'd like to thank you, Lori, for being our tin roof. It's your turn now.
Well, this is a surprise. I've not prepared a speech. But thank you for this award. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. This is my true calling, and you know, I'm celebrating 10 years with Habitat and looking forward to however many years more I can do this. Thank you for the Tin Roof Award. I am the inaugural person for this award, so I expect to be called back when you present it to the next person who gets it. And I also expect that I will be getting my little plaque that I've been pining for however long it's been. So, but thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And it never feels like work to me when, you know, you get to do this job. So thanks again.
Well, we appreciate it. And it's a tireless effort, day after day, month after month, year after year. So thank you for everything. And what I wanted to do is just get back to everyone and make sure that you understand that with all of this that we do, it can only be done, you know, with the support of everyone. So if you please would go to the donate now in the link in the chat box, and please donate. Again, we talked about it, the different levels of what can be done. So whether it's 25, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, whatever it is, it's going towards something in these homes for all of the people that we provide housing for. And as you just saw in the video, it's so important for affordable housing. And we know this based on what's going on with this pandemic, and everything's been going on over the last year or two. And what we forget is during all of this, there were people who were driving into places just to get food. And if there's anything that you should feel comfortable and know that you have, every person should have food, they should have a roof over their head, and they should make sure that they can be safe. And so it's an important part of all of what we have to do and our mission to make sure of that. So I can't express how happy I am that all of you joined us today for this virtual Building Hope Luncheon today. I think it's served as a great reminder of all the ways Habitat is thriving to build a community where everyone has a safe and affordable place to call home. And not just through the expected activities like swinging hammers, but home repairs, home ownership preparation, and donations and sales of our restores. We hope you enjoyed this event and invite you to connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can stay up to date on our rotation of restore inventory, sales, learn about our partner families, see progress photos of our new and repaired homes, and view our virtual home dedications. Before you go, if you haven't already, again, take a moment to click on the link in the chat and give a piece of home today to local families in need. Any amount will pave the way for a brighter future. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your day.